Hello everybody out there, I'm Alec Wolf. I am in my second year of being an intern at the LEAP program and in my fourth year of being in the LEAP program. The LEAP program stands for Learn, Earn, and Prosper. It helps 16 to 24-year-old people who are blind get work experience in the working field. They also focus on daily living skills and being independent. When I was younger, I was happy and wild, and I did a lot of stuff that got me in trouble, but I learned from it. And the best thing that you can do is learn from your mistakes.
I'm Michaela Taylor. I'm 17. I'm from Katyville, New York. I'm in my senior year of high school, and I plan to attend Plattsburgh State College next fall. I plan to major in special education.
Hi, I'm Sophie Lefko. I am 18 years old. I live in Middlebury, Vermont. I really like theater. That's it. I'm pumped to be here at LEAP.
Hi, my name's Rachel Carey. I'm one of the intern group leaders with the LEAP program this summer. I just graduated from St. Mike's. My degree's in English. I guess a fun fact about me is that I bungee jumped off the highest bridge jump in the world when I was studying abroad in South Africa.
What were you like when you were younger?
I was a wild child. I was the kid who was climbing everything and getting into trouble.
I've always been really independent, so much so that when I was like 2 years old, my mom lost me in Disney World because I just wanted to go and run on my own. But I didn't realize that I was not supposed to run away from my parents. Crisis was averted. My parents found me. I am here today to tell the tale.
It's not just a clone.
It's not a clone. I'm not a clone.
I played with the boys. I didn't like dolls. I was not the average 5-year-old girl. I still don't exactly go with the flow of what people expect me to do.
I've always been very stubborn, often to a fault, unfortunately. But I've grown into myself a lot.
Getting older, I think, once I started getting into, middle school and stuff like that, I really wish I could have reminded myself to stay true to who I was.
Yeah. Growing up and finding that I don't need to make my life harder for myself. And through definitely a lot of various mentors that I've had who have taught me a lot, relationships with older, wiser people can be very valuable.
Because in middle school I had a hard time accepting some stuff about myself, so I ended up hurting myself in the long run. I lost some friends, my grades went down. It just wasn't a good few years.
As somebody who's always been interested in the arts, there's a lot of pushback, not from my immediate family, but certainly from teachers and guidance counselors and things like that. And so I spent a lot of time trying to make excuses for wanting to do the things that I wanted to do. So if I could tell my younger self, it would be, don't apologize for what you love doing and ask for help when you need it.
Now let's just do the time travel deal here. And let's say you're where you were before. Whatever mindset you want to put yourself in when you were younger, whether it be from a toddler or just your early teen years, if you knew what your life was going to be like now when you were younger, what would you have changed in the past?
Well, I think that's a really tricky question because honestly, I'm kind of a sap, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. So I don't think I would change anything. I think that we all make the decisions that we make because at the time they are what we think is right. And though we may learn later that they're not, I think that we make them for a reason, and that all of those various decisions shape who we are. And I think that everything I've experienced, though it may have been unpleasant or have had unpleasant outcomes, I think has set me on a path that I don't think I would change.
I think if I knew that people were so accepting of other people with low vision, I would have not tried to hide it as much, and I probably would have worn my glasses and used accommodations that I needed. I think that if I knew more about programs like LEAP when I was younger, I would have probably ended up being a more confident version of myself now.
What is a great accomplishment that you had when you were young? And how did that shape the way you are now?
Great accomplishment. I always joke that I've never accomplished anything because I don't win a lot of awards. I've always done a lot of writing, but never really did anything with it, never really sent it anywhere. So my sophomore year, I took a creative writing class for school. So that was really a great experience for me to write in a more structured setting. I actually had the opportunity to send it off to a couple of competitions and conferences, and I won the competition and I got into the conference, and I think that it was just this really wonderful experience for me that gave me a lot of confidence in my ability to create, which certainly has spurred me as a creator of things.
Earlier this year, I got CPR certified and I got certified as a nursing assistant. And the school that I had been in questioned my ability to complete the program because I have low vision. So I tried as hard as I could to get the best marks I could. I practiced my skills more than the average person in my class. I did practice exams, and I ended up scoring at the top of my class for the end of the year exam and certification.
Based on how you've changed over the years, let's do some time traveling into the future. What can you predict your future to be like based on how you've changed?
Well, I plan to be a starving artist. No. At this point, I believe that I will do everything that it takes to pursue what I am passionate about, whether that be a good idea or not. Depends on who you ask. And I think I will go into the world and hopefully be kind to people and help people and pass on the knowledge that I have learned through my experience and hopefully help them out a little bit.
In the future, I'm hoping that I will continue gaining confidence and the determination to succeed in life more than I like to just keep improving on myself.
So what is when you were younger, what is a challenge that you had to overcome, and how did it shape the way you are now today?
I have faced my share of challenges, certainly with dealing with my visual impairment, and like I was saying before, a big thing that I overcame as a child, and actually what I wrote about to get into college, was about learning to ask for help. And as a child, I did not want to admit that I was different from anybody else, that I needed any extra help from anyone else. So I, in a lot of ways, made my life harder because I wouldn't seek out accommodations of any kind. So that was certainly a huge, huge challenge that I had to learn to overcome to be a functional person.
I know I keep relating things back to my vision, but when I was about 15 years old, I had discovered programs for the blind and visually impaired, and they helped me accept the fact that I have a visual impairment, and it helped me overcome the challenges I was having in school with not using my accommodations because I was being bullied because I had them. And I overcame those challenges because I needed to be successful in my future. Like, if someone's gonna say something mean, let them say it, because you'll be over here with your A+ average and they're probably down in the B's and C's.
Being a people pleaser is something I feel like my relationships are really important to me, and I just I very much want other people to be happy, and very much want my life to be for other people. But I feel at times, there's a lot of instances in my family and in my personal life and with my friends and everything where that has, and in different volunteer things I did, where that's kind of become something that's where I put myself and my well-being on the back burner. Oh, I don't need to sleep, I can deal with this and help this person with this and things like that, and it adds up when you're constantly giving more than you can give to other people. And I think I've had to learn, like, balance. Like, yes, it's important to help people. Yes, like, my relationships are still important to me. But, like, ultimately, like, you can only help people as much as, like, they want to be helped. And, like, you can give someone as much support, but it's, like, kind of their choice whether or not they're going to do something. And I think also it's, like, setting, like, healthy boundaries and everything. So that's, like, a challenge I've had to work on with myself. And, like, because I, like, feel like there was, like, guilt associated with, like, trying to, like, pull away from doing that. But I feel like I've kind of learned as I've gotten older and matured and everything, and had different experiences, kind of how to, like, balance, like, making sure I take care of myself so I can be my best self with, like, you guys and, like, with all the people in my life, and still, like, living out those values.
This podcast is one of a series of episodes created entirely by blind and visually impaired students taking part in the LEAP program of Resource. Resource is a nonprofit community enterprise based in Vermont with a mission to strengthening communities through workforce development, poverty relief, and environmental stewardship. The LEAP program provides youth 16 to 24 years old who are blind and visually impaired the opportunity to gain the skills needed to become independent, confident, and productive young adults. Financial support was provided by the Delta Gamma Foundation, the George W. Mergens Foundation, and the Division for the Blind and Visually Impaired. To learn more about the LEAP program, please visit www.resourcevt.org.